Welcome and thank you for joining us. You are watching Millennium News Hour and I am Tanzeeba Noreen. Today we have brought up and trending news from across the nation and the world. Let's begin with the headlines. Narendra Modi is set to take oath for third time on June 8. US congratulates Modi, hopes to work for free and open Asia. Biden will mark D-Day anniversary in France as Western alliances face threats at home and abroad. Hunter Biden's exes are called as witnesses in his federal gun trial to detail his drug use. US lawmakers advance bill to sanction ICC over Israel probe. Prosecutors want Donald Trump to remain under a gag order at least until he is sentenced July 11. Boeing Starliner launches first crew on third try. Trump to court top CEOs in a private meeting weeks after his conviction. Amanda Knox reconvicted of slander in case linked to Meredith Kercher's murder. Rishi Sunak and Keir Starmer clash over tax and health in first UK election debate. Slovenia becomes latest European country to recognize Palestinian state. King Charles III banknotes entered circulation for the first time. And India crushed Ireland by 8 wickets in T20 World Cup. You are listening to Headlines, now news in detail. Today we will start with a special bulletin. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi is expected to be sworn in for a record equaling third term on June 8 after key allies pledged their continued support a day after a humbling election verdict that saw his party lose its majority in parliament. Modi, a populist who has dominated Indian politics since coming to power in 2014, will for the first time need the support of regional allies whose loyalties have wavered over the years, which could complicate the government's reform agenda. On Wednesday, two allies in his National Democratic Alliance coalition, the Telugu Desam Party, a key regional player in the southern state of Andhra Pradesh, and the Janata Dal, which rules the northern state of Bihar, pledged their support. We are with the NDA. I will be attending the meeting in Delhi today, Chandrababu Naidu, the leader of the TDP, told reporters, referring to a meeting of the BJP-led alliance scheduled to take place later in the day. Modi tendered his resignation on Wednesday to President Draupadi Murmu after the federal cabinet met and recommended the dissolution of parliament, the first of many constitutional formalities before Modi can form a new government. Modi and his new cabinet were scheduled to be sworn in on Saturday, local media reported. The United States on Wednesday congratulated Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi on his coalition's election win, saying it hoped to work with the Hindu nationalist leader on a free and open Asia. We look forward to continuing to further our partnership with the Indian government to promote prosperity and innovation, address the climate crisis, and ensure a free and open Indo-Pacific region, State Department spokesman Matthew Miller said, using a US catchphrase for opposing assertive moves by China. Miller's statement called the election, in which 650 million people voted, the largest exercise in democracy in human history. We commend Indian voters, poll workers, civil society, and journalists for their commitment and vital contributions to India's democratic processes and institutions, Miller said. President Joe Biden will mark the 80th anniversary of the D-Day invasion in France this week as he tries to demonstrate steadfast support for European security at a time when some allies fear Donald Trump threatens to upend American commitments if he wins another term in the White House. The trip comes as the deadliest fighting on the continent since World War II continues in Ukraine, and allied countries struggle to find ways to turn the tide against Russia, which has recently gained ground on the battlefield. It is also set against deepening cracks between the US and many European allies over how to manage the ongoing Israel-Hamas war in Gaza. Biden arrived in Paris on Wednesday morning, and he was welcomed by French officials and an honor guard. On Thursday, he will visit hallowed ground near the beaches of Normandy, where rows of bone-white headstones mark the graves of US soldiers who died to bring an end to World War II. He will also speak on Friday at Pointe du Hoc, a spot on the French coast where Army Rangers scaled seaside cliffs to overcome Nazi defenses. Hunter Biden's ex-wife and a former girlfriend testified Wednesday in his gun trial about finding his crack pipes and other drug paraphernalia as prosecutors sought to show he still had a substance abuse problem when he filled out a form to buy a firearm. The courtroom grew quiet when Kathleen Buell, who was married to Hunter for 20 years, walked in. She testified that she discovered her husband was using drugs when she found a crack pipe in an ashtray on their porch on July 3, 2015, a day after their anniversary. When she confronted him, he acknowledged smoking crack, she said. The trial has quickly become a highly personal and detailed tour of Hunter Biden's mistakes and drug use. The proceedings are unfolding as the 2024 presidential election looms, and allies worry about the toll it will take on the president, who is deeply concerned about the health and sustained sobriety of his only living son. Prosecutors argue that the testimony is necessary to show Hunter Biden's state of mind when he bought the gun. Hunter Biden has been charged with 3 felonies stemming from the purchase of a gun in October 2018. He is accused of lying to a federally licensed gun dealer, making a false claim on the application by saying he was not a drug user, and illegally having the gun for 11 days. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia, available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feed. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. The U.S. House of Representatives voted Tuesday to advance a largely symbolic bill calling for sanctions on the International Criminal Court after its prosecutor applied for an arrest warrant against Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The Hague-based court's prosecutor has said Netanyahu and Defense Minister Yoav Gallant should be arrested on charges relating to the war in Gaza, along with three leaders of militant group Hamas. The U.S. House's Illegitimate Court Counteraction Act, backed by almost every Republican and around a fifth of the Democrats, would bar U.S. entry for ICC officials involved with the case, revoking their visas and restricting any U.S.-based property transactions. Today's vote draws a line in the sand for lawless action by ICC officials. Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson said in a statement, "The U.S. firmly stands with Israel and refuses to allow international bureaucrats to baselessly issue arrest warrants to Israeli leadership for false crimes." The legislation is considered a messaging bill, however, as it is unlikely to be taken up by the Democratic-run Senate and could be vetoed in any case by President Joe Biden, who has said he strongly opposes it. Manhattan prosecutors urged a judge Wednesday to keep Donald Trump's gag order in place in his hush money criminal case at least until the former president is sentenced in July, opposing a defense request that the restrictions be lifted following his felony convictions last week. Assistant District Attorney Matthew Colangelo told Judge Ewan M. Merchant in a letter that the Manhattan DA's office opposes any immediate termination of the gag order, which bars Trump from commenting about witnesses, jurors, and others tied to the case, but not the judge himself. The court has an obligation to protect the integrity of these proceedings and the fair administration of justice, at least through the sentencing hearing and the resolution of any post-trial motions, Colangelo wrote. On Tuesday, Trump lawyers Todd Blanche and Emil Bove had asked Merchant to end the gag order, arguing there was nothing to justify continued restrictions on the First Amendment rights of President Trump now that the trial is over. Boeing on Wednesday launched its very first astronauts bound for the International Space Station aboard a Starliner capsule, which joins a select club of spacecraft to carry humans beyond Earth. The third time turned out to be the charm for the aerospace giant after two previous bids to fly with crew were aborted late into the countdown for technical reasons. Astronauts Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams, both of whom have two previous space flights under their belts, blasted off at 10:52 a.m. from the Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida for a roughly one-week stay at the station. Suni and I are honored to share this dream of spaceflight with each and every one of you, Wilmore, who is commander of the test flight, said just before liftoff. Let's put some fire in this rocket and let's push it to the heavens. Starliner becomes just the sixth type of US-built spaceship to fly NASA astronauts following the Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo programs in the 1960s and 1970s, the Space Shuttle from 1981 to 2011, and SpaceX's Crew Dragon from 2020. Former President Donald Trump will attend a private meeting with one of the most powerful business lobbying groups in Washington as he tries to craft an alliance with major corporate leaders. Joshua Bolten, the CEO of the Business Roundtable, confirmed in an email to members on Wednesday that Trump will be at the group's plenary meeting in Washington on June 13. Though President Joe Biden was invited, he cannot attend due to overseas travel for a G7 meeting. The business group instead asked White House Chief of Staff Jeff Zients to come, according to Bolton's email. Zients accepted the invitation last week and plans to address the group on June 13, according to a person familiar with his plans. The meeting is off the record and closed to the press, Bolton wrote in his message, which said that Trump's team confirmed to the group that the former president will be at the gathering. A spokesperson for the Trump campaign declined to comment. The Business Roundtable did not return requests for comment. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feed. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. Now it's time for global updates. Amanda Knox failed in her bid to clear her name Wednesday as an Italian court reconvicted her of slander for accusing an innocent man in her roommate's 2007 murder. Knox wept after the verdict was delivered as she appeared in an Italian courtroom for the first time in more than a decade. She was sentenced to 3 years imprisonment but will not serve any more jail time as it counts as time already served. Speaking after the verdict outside the courthouse in Florence, Knox's lawyer said that he was very surprised at the outcome of the decision and Amanda is very upset. Knox, 36 years old, made headlines around the world as she was jailed and then cleared of killing her roommate Meredith Kercher. While Knox's murder conviction was overturned, the slander conviction remained on her record. She had hoped that a not guilty verdict would remove any lingering doubt about her innocence, but the court found that she had wrongly accused Congolese bar owner Patrick Lumumba of taking part in the murder. Knox was 20 when she was sentenced to 26 years for Kercher's murder at the apartment they shared in the idyllic central Italian university town of Perugia. The killing made headlines around the world after Kercher, 21 years old, was found half naked in a pool of blood with more than 40 stab wounds November 1, 2007. Her throat had been slit. Knox and her Italian boyfriend, Raffaele Solicito, then 25, whom she had been seeing for around a week, were charged with Kercher's murder. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak and opposition Labour Party leader Keir Starmer spurred Tuesday overtax, the cost of living and the country's creaking health system in an inconclusive televised debate ahead of a July 4 election expected to make one of them the country's next leader. Sunak tried to boost his centre-right party's dismal outlook by urging voters to back the stability of continued Conservative government. Starmer hoped to cement his status as favorite by arguing that Britain desperately needs change. Both acknowledged the country's many problems, from fraying public services to a broken immigration system, but neither could say outright when asked where the money would come from to fix them. Sunak stressed his stewardship of the economy, which has seen inflation fall to just over 2% from a peak of more than 11% in late 2022. He said should stick with him because his clear plan for the economy was working. Starmer said the election was a choice between more chaos and division with the Conservatives and turning the page and rebuilding with Labour. Polls currently give centre-left Labour a double-digit lead. To win, Starmer must persuade voters who previously backed the Tories that Labour can be trusted with the UK's economy, borders and security. Slovenia became the latest European Union country to recognize an independent Palestinian state after its parliament approved the move with majority vote on Tuesday, dismissing a call for a referendum on the issue by the largest opposition party. The government last week decided to recognize Palestine as an independent and sovereign state following in the steps of Spain, Ireland, and Norway as part of a wider effort to coordinate pressure on Israel to end the conflict in Gaza. Today's recognition of Palestine as a sovereign and independent state sends hope to the Palestinian people in the West Bank and in Gaza, Prime Minister Robert Golob said on X. The vote was scheduled for Tuesday and a parliamentary group for foreign affairs on Monday endorsed the government decision with majority vote. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feed. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. You are watching latest global updates. Banknotes featuring a portrait of King Charles III entered circulation on Wednesday for the first time, the Bank of England said in a statement. Charles will be pictured on the front of the 5, 10, 20 and 50-pound banknotes and will be seen through the notes' see-through security window. Otherwise, the notes will remain unchanged in their design. As well as monarchs' banknotes in the UK feature historical figures including Winston Churchill, Jane Austen, James W. Turner and Alan Turing. Images of the notes depicting Charles were first released in December 2022 after Queen Elizabeth II passed away in September of the same year. Notes featuring Queen Elizabeth II will remain legal tender and will be in circulation alongside those showing Charles, the Bank of England said. The two monarchs are the only ones to be depicted on banknotes, as this tradition only began in 1960. The new banknotes will only be printed to replace those that are owned and to meet any overall increase in demand for banknotes, the Bank of England said. This means the public will begin to see the new King Charles III notes very gradually. This is a historic moment as it's the first time we have changed the sovereign on our notes, Bank of England Governor Andrew Bailey said. Now it's time for business news. Today's New York stock close price is 17,934.49. The NYSE Composite is decreased by 72.47 points or 0.40%. Tokyo stock close price is 38,490.17. The Nikkei 225 index is decreased by 347.29 points or 0.89%. Shanghai stock close price is 3,065.40. The Shanghai index is decreased by 25.80 points or 0.83%. Hong Kong stock close price is 18,424.96. The Hang Seng Index is decreased by 19.15 points or 0.10%. Bombay stock close price is 74,382.24. The Sensex Index is increased by 2,303.19 points or 3.20%. Let's have a look on today's sports story. Rohit Sharma made 52 before retiring hurt as India overwhelmed Ireland by 8 wickets in the team's T20 World Cup opener in New York on Wednesday. India only required 97 to win after a dominant display by their attack, with left-arm quick Arshdeep Singh striking twice in the third over to reduce Ireland to 9-2 after Rohit won the toss. All-rounder Hardik Pandya took 2 wickets in 2 balls on his way to 3 for 27, and Jasprit Bumrah, the player of the match, 2 for 6. Ireland needed to hold every chance that came their way to have any chance of a shock upset. Only 4 Ireland batsmen reached double figures. Gareth Delany top scoring with 26 before he was run out as the innings ended in the 16th over. Let's have a look on today's weather forecast. Before finishing today's news, let's hear out the headlines again. Narendra Modi is set to take oath for third time on June 8. US congratulates Modi, hopes to work for free and open Asia. Biden will mark D-Day anniversary in France as Western alliances face threats at home and abroad. Hunter Biden's exes are called as witnesses in his federal gun trial to detail his drug use. US lawmakers advance bill to sanction ICC over Israel probe. Prosecutors want Donald Trump to remain under a gag order at least until he is sentenced July 11. Boeing Starliner launches first crew on third try. Trump to court top CEOs in a private meeting weeks after his conviction. Amanda Knox reconvicted of slander in case linked to Meredith Kercher's murder. Rishi Sunak and Keir Starmer clash over tax and health in first UK election debate. Slovenia becomes latest European country to recognize Palestinian state. King Charles III banknotes entered circulation for the first time. And India crushed Ireland by 8 wickets in T20 World Cup. That's all for today. Keep watching Millennium News Hour for latest news update. To stay updated, like our Facebook page, subscribe our YouTube channel and visit our website. Our website address is www.millenniumnews24.com. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia, available with the Sky Network, Worldwide Jadoo TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with us for all the latest news worldwide. Thank you.